Hi. Hey. Welcome to Above Life channel. The purpose here is to inspire your spirit and fill you with some hope. Let's find out if we're live. Let's give us a minute here to see. See if you all are popping into the chat. Welcome. Oh, good. We've got sound. I always have to check for my sound because if I don't, that's a problem. Okay. Today we're going to channel and have conversation with Bob Barker, but we're going to do it in a fun way because I have had a rough couple days, and because of that, we are going to do something fun today. We're going to do unique channeling because we're going to bring Bob Barker in, and he's going to help host a little psychic game show for you guys. So for those of you who come in the chat, you might have an opportunity to participate. Okay. All right. So I just got back from running in town. Hi, Patty. She's our moderator in the live stream. Nice to see you. Thank you for being here. I know it's late. It's later in the day. Hey, Lisa. Nice to see you. Hi, Jennifer. Oh, Deja. Hi. Nice to see you. I see you got the note that the group was rescheduled. I do have at least a monthly, I do a psychic, inspiring psychic experience group, a small group online on Zoom. And you can register for the next one. It's October 17th. You'll see that in the description below when this video goes live. And you can register for that if you want to be part of it. It's just a small group. There's usually not more than, I don't know, there's maybe 8 people max. There's been maybe 12 at the most I've had, I think. But it's a cool experience. So I hope you'll be able to join us. So today we're going to do something fun because I really need something fun. I have a lot coming up. It is October. I sort of celebrated really quietly my psychic birthday. I was 19 years ago. If you didn't yet watch or have a look at the Sunday morning coffee, you want to check that out because I share a little bit about my psychic birthday story, my psychic story, how I got psychic. So I haven't always just channeled afterlife celebrities. I've been doing psychic work for years and years in lots of different ways and lots of different genres. And so, yeah, I've been very fortunate to be able to have lots of cool experiences. So I do have a small group that I offer every month. So today we're going to talk to Bob Barker, Make It Fun, a game show style. All right, Bob, can you come on in, please? I am dying to ask you, Mr. Barker, Mr. Bob Barker, how I want to know how you feel about Drew Carey as the host. You guys, is he still the host? I think he is. How do you feel about him being the host? I'm really curious about that. And he's like, well, you don't waste any time, do you? Like, no, I don't. And he looks like he's smoking a cigar. Did he smoke cigars? He looks like he smokes or smoked. And he's talking about like lungs, problems with the lungs, emphysema or lung cancer. I don't know if he had it or if his dad had it or what have you. Somebody, either him or somebody with him in the afterlife had it that was a male in his life. So it could be his dad, it could be his brother, that kind of a thing. Somebody very close to him directly, somebody that he kind of looks like. So, all right. And he's here to remind us to have our pets spayed and neutered. Do you guys remember that? Oh my gosh, help control the pet population. Your pets spayed and neutered. Who would? I mean, that just seems so random. He says, yeah, you don't see Pat Sajak saying that, do you? I'm like, no, you do not. But Pat doesn't usually give away dishwashers either, and back in the day, I remember you doing stuff like that on The Price is Right. And he says, hey, I didn't get producers' rights until later, he says. Like, okay, all right. Okay, so what do you think about Drew Carey being the host? He says, I think Drew does a pretty good job. I think he does. He says, it's not as easy as it looks. He says you have to make small talk with people, and sometimes people can get a little excitable. He says excitable, and nowadays, he says since the whole COVID incident, it's been kind of tricky. He says it's been real spotty with people. People, for the most part, used to kind of manage themselves and things, and they get a little crazy, a little excited. And he says, but you understand that. He says, but nowadays things are a little more unpredictable, and people can get pretty upset. And he's referring to like people getting angry or something, like fist fights or something like that. That he says a little more rowdy than they would have before. And he's saying it in a really polite way, you guys, but he's showing me like people getting into fist fights and stuff in the show. And I don't know if it's backstage or if it's like waiting in line outside or what the deal is, but he's showing me like ever since like the COVID stuff, he says that people get really nowadays they're really he says it's a lot harder to host a show than it looks. And he says, and Drew's a funny guy. He's a funny guy. He has a pretty good handle on things, he says. He's a pretty good guy, he says. So I think, he says, I think it was touch and go there for a bit, but I think it's okay. So do you know in the afterlife, have you met Alex Trebek? He says, we met in the human life. He says, we met in the human life. He says, and contrary to popular belief, there's not just a game show section in heaven. He says, but wouldn't that be a fun place to be? He says, that would be a fun place to be. And I'm like, you are right, my friend. Yes, it would. Can you guys imagine? That would be a very fun place. Okay, so are we going to do like showcase showdown or what are we going to do? Put in the comments if you guys remember a specific game that they did, that Bob did on the Price is Right. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. What if there's a specific I remember trying to do the like products, like the prices on the products, like a tube of toothpaste, 238 or whatever, that kind of thing. And it was always like West Coast prices in California kind of vibe kind of thing. They always seemed so much more expensive because I was from Minnesota in the Midwest and like that. He says, actually, interesting. He says, funny story, actually. Interesting that you bring that up, he says, because there was a lot of talk about that for us, he says, on the show. There was a lot of arguments, he says, a lot of discussion around the pricing of things. He says, and we did surveys at different grocery store chains to find the product prices and do an average, he said. So we did an average. That's what most of the pricing was from. He says, and then consumer reports and consumer guides and things like that. He says, but it was always something that was contested or that was contentious a little bit. People would say, well, where I live, it's not bad, and that kind of a thing. He says, so there was confusion about the pricing. So he says, I can accept that. I can understand that. So, okay. All right. Let me just say hello again. Okay. All right. Okay. So, I'd like to do some fun stuff. Can we do some fun stuff? Let's do some game showy kinds of things. So, for those of you who are in the chat, we're going to give you the opportunity to step up and step in and participate if you'd like to. Okay. So it's a little bit of trivia like is what we're going to do. A little bit of kind of trivia. See how much of above life or channelers you guys are. Above life channelers you guys are. Okay. All right. Okay. And how much you've paid attention. All right. So and then whoever wins, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a card for you. So I have a couple of different card decks actually right here on my desk. I have this one by Kyle Gray. It is the Angel Guide Oracle. I have this one we can pull. Or I have this purple one, which is the Sacred Traveler deck by Denise Linn, which I really love. I don't have the box to show you, but it's Sacred Traveler by Denise Linn. I love these. These are really good. We'll probably use these more than the other ones. But I'll pull a card for you, okay? So I'm going to ask you a question. And the first person to type in the comment box, the right answer, gets a card. Okay, ready? Already? So we have to should we do that like game show music? Dun 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 dun. I'm sorry. Come on, you guys. Talking with the afterlife is fun. Bob says, I think it's great. I think it's great. Okay, Bob. He says, oh, and then he's mentioning something to somebody who has a sister that died of, looks like breast cancer, I think. Somebody that is watching, he says they might be watching after. He says, just make sure that they know that their sister is okay. There's also somebody named Linda in the afterlife that Bob met Linda, and we're supposed to say that as well. Okay, did you get that, you guys? There's a sister in the afterlife that died of breast cancer. Says hello with the help of Bob. And also there's somebody named Linda in the afterlife as well that Bob is bringing through, that's saying hello, and she got to meet Bob, just so you're aware. Okay. All right. So here's the question. So I already said this in this particular video, and if you're Above Life channel watcher, you'll know, or if you followed any of my work previously, you'll also know. So the question is, what date on the calendar do I celebrate my psychic birthday? What date on the calendar? What date on the calendar? And you can guess. Yes, Deja, October 1st. Patty, October 1st with the second. Deja, you're first. Deja is a college student joining us, working on her intuition. Deja is a very hard worker. She is currently studying English literature. Hi, Lisa. Nice to see you from Florida. And I see her as a social worker, but she's studying English. She writes quite well. Deja, we're going to do a card for you. Which one would you like, my dear? Would you like these ones, the purple deck, or would you like one from the orange deck? So write purple or orange, and I'll let you know. Hi, Lisa. Close. It's October 1st. Hello, Lumi. Nice to see you. All right. Which one? It's very pretty. The purple. Yes, definitely. Okay. All right, Miss Deja. This is for you. Doesn't she have a beautiful name? Yes, she does. She's a great spirit, too. Let me tell you. Future is in good hands. All right. So this one is for Deja and for anyone else who might need some extra purple inspiration today. All right, here we go. Embracing enthusiasm, shout to the heavens with happiness. Deja, this particular card is actually an affirmation. Somebody in the afterlife is giving you a nod, my dear. The fact that there are butterflies here means you have gone through a time of change. It means that there is continuous change and transformation, and not just one change, but lots of changes you've been handling. However, you're doing so with a very bright, optimistic outlook, and that will serve you well as you look toward the future. Embracing enthusiasm, shout to the heavens with happiness. This is an affirmation that your spiritual teachers, your healing helpers, your spirit guides, such as Archangel Michael and Raphael, who both work with you, my dear. Michael and Raphael, these archangels, are with you to continue to guide you and to support you and give you direction. Remember, Archangel Michael is blue, brings in an energy of truth, also brings in the energetic of protection or stability, keeping you centered and grounded. Then on the other side of your shoulders, okay, so he's on the left side here holding you up. And on the right side, we've got Archangel Raphael, who's a beautiful light green color, who's all about healing, holding your heart space in a way that will help you reconstruct and recreate yourself. So the past does not define you. You are a beautiful, bright light and a gorgeous spirit, and you get to step into your future and create your future. Archangel Raphael acknowledges you, my dear Deja, as a healer within you. So the fact that you have Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael also means that there is clearing to be done. That means that They are with you to help clear the path. So if you're feeling down, or if you're feeling kind of bummed out about something, or you're worried about something, you're worried about money, you're worried about a test, you're worried about a boyfriend, you're worried about a girlfriend, you're worried about whatever, these two together will help clear the path. So utilize them, call them in. Again, Archangel Michael with his blue energy and Archangel Raphael with the green energy to support you and love you and continue to help you as you create your life. All right. Thank you so much, Deja. Thank you, Deja. And thank you, everyone else. Hello from heaven to others who are in our chat and to others who are watching this live stream channel with a nod from your loved ones. Okay. Nice breath in, everybody, for healing. Tap in that heart space. Big, bold exhale out. So much love sent to you all. All right, Bob, what should we do next? Ooh, okay. Well, okay. All right. I don't know if they'll know the answer to that question, but I'll ask maybe. Okay. All right. I'm going to ask questions that are familiar, that have to do with Above Life channel. So you guys, because that will be a good thing for the OGs here on the channel. Okay. All right. So my dear sweet ones, you're welcome, Deja. Hi, Hallie. Nice to see you. Hey, Lisa. Again. Lisa, I got two Lisas today here. So I'm going to ask you another question, you guys. Okay, ready? All right. So Above Life channel. Who is the afterlife celebrity guest that actually pushed me to doing this channel? Who is the purpose for how this Above Life channel started? Who is the afterlife celebrity guest? Not the first one I channeled. Yes, you've got it. Yes, Lumi. Yes, Prince. That was fast. Yes, Hallie. Prince. Yes, very purpley. Should we do a purple card? Yes, Patty. Prince. Lumi, do you want a purple card because of that? Because of the purple one? Oh, no, I think we're just going to bring Prince in. How about we do that? We're going to bring it. We'll get a purple card. Prince, you want to come in? Go to number 7, he says. Go to number 7. Number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. View from above. You guys, this is about afterlife. The first card was embracing enthusiasm. The second card for Lumi is view from above. Get the big picture. There's so much yellow in this card, and that yellow is solar plexus, your spirit chakra. Something that this is a sign, everyone. Listen to me right now. Believe, okay? You have an idea. You have something that you're passionate about, that has purpose and meaning, that you're just not sure that other people will get. Or you don't know if other people will show up, or they'll buy your product, or they'll show up at your event, or they'll buy your stuff, whatever. Do it. You got to try. You owe it to yourself to try. Okay. The bigger picture is beyond the naysaying in your brain, right? So Prince, can you tell them what our conversation a little bit? Bob, do you mind if we bring Prince in? No, that's absolutely fine. He says he is a very good guitar player. Yes, he is. Thank you. Yes, he is. So Prince, tell them a little bit about our conversations before I started Above Life channel. Lumi, this is for you. This is for you, my dear. My dear friend. This is for you. Bigger picture. Get outside your own head, my friend. Get out your own head. So Prince, tell them about that a little bit, because that is really a lot about the Above Life channel thing, you guys. And I'm on that doorstep right now of a new channel. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I have the energy for it, like it's not really for me. It's not really about people approving it or agreeing with it or following it. It's about, I want to do it in a way that's respectful so that I can really, truly help people and reach them, like right where they're at, and make a real impact, like a really positive, healthy, healing impact. As we have, I think, he says, in Above Life channel, he says, you have. He says, I told you years ago that there was a need for people to have hope. And that's the one thing that you can give is hope, he says. And that's what some people confuse it as, they call it helping. But really, he says it's bigger than that. It's the ideal, the idealistic, the energetic, the idealistic energetics, he says, of hope. He says, and the world needs it. They need it. He says, it's hard. It's so easy. He says, Prince says, it's so easy to believe in other people, but it's hard to believe in yourself. Right. Right. He says, I don't know why people have such an issue with that. He says, I can honestly say, he says, I don't know why. It's so foreign to me. He says, it doesn't fit for me. He says, not being successful or failing. He says, I don't like the word failure. I don't like it because it doesn't really happen. There's no excuse for that. It's just you try something, it doesn't work out. That's all it is. He says, you try things. That's success. The fact that you have the guts to share it and to try it and to put stuff out there, that's what success is. He says, you got to believe that you wouldn't have been given the idea, the song, the music, the whatever your thing is, you wouldn't have been given that if it wasn't something that you were able to share with other people. And he says that you just have to. He says that you got to get out of your own head. It's just so many limitations that you put on yourself. And he says, B and I talked about it. And he says, we talked about it a lot, because she would not accept money for a really long time. And there's a whole thing about abundance and money and prosperity. And it was hard because trying to fight with her because she didn't listen. She did not listen. I don't know if you know this about her, but she's very stubborn. Oh, thank you. Because you're not. He's like, sis, don't get upset. It's just the facts. It's just facts. Yeah, it is facts. You're right. And you were a big pain in my ass because you were talking to me all the fucking time. Like, I thought I was losing my shit. And I had already been psychic for years. And all of a sudden, I basically tanked my regular coaching psychic business that I had plenty of clients to focus on your channeling. And he says, and look where it got you. I'm like, well, I don't really know where it got me. It got me on this interesting purple journey that has given me a lot of great friends. I have some very wonderful friends I would have never met, bestest friends, like Linda Coe and Dina, who I would have never, ever in a million years, and Nashi and Chris, and there's more. There's so many of you. I can't think of everybody, Andrea, and just people, and Seal, and there's so many of you. I'm sure I'm forgetting some that people I've gotten to know, and Laura, and be able to hang out with and be part of community with because of Prince and my connection to Prince. And I'm not a big fan or anything, but I love the fam energy of the people around him, and Rachel, and there's just so many wonderful people I've met because of Prince, and who've come into my life, like Sandra came into my life because of Prince, and many of you I know because of him. And so I'm grateful for that. That's been quite the journey, and I'm happy to have been able to do that and be part of that. And Above Life Channel will continue. That legacy continues, because then all of a sudden there was a whole lineup, like at a bakery counter, of other dead people with numbers going, hey, Robin Williams talking to me in the car one day. I want to talk to you. And I'm like, hey, Prince, is it okay if I talk to Michael Jackson? Because I actually talked to him first. And he was like, yeah, that's okay. So, and then Princess Diana and Freddie Mercury, and there's just so many, Marilyn Monroe and all the Hollywood celebrities, and Carrie Fisher, one of my very favorites, and just so many cool people, Maya Angelou and Louise Hay and Wayne Dyer and Martin Luther King Jr. and the Kennedys, and there's so many, and genres too, like of music, like we talked to a lot of the Beatles, we've talked to, and just, oh gosh, there's so many people, so many different kinds of famous people that we've conversed with, which has been great. And just wow, it's been quite a journey. So I do have a lot of gratitude for that. And so, but the point is, there's a bigger picture, And thank you, Lumi, for bringing this forward. And for you, wherever you're at in your life as well, it mixes that. See that green color, that green striped energy? That is your heart chakra, my friend. That's your heart chakra. And that profound yellow is your solar plexus. So your heart and your soul are trying to partner together. Can you see the bigger picture? Can you let yourself step out of your mind and the limitations and the naysaying in your mind? This could be something really simple, really simple. It might not be a big, massive life change, but it could be something really simple or basic that just shifts a little, tweaks of perspective, and it really can help you just a tremendous amount. And anyone else that this might apply to in addition to that as well. So thank you so much, Prince, for making a guest appearance today as we are channeling Bob Barker. Bob, we haven't even talked about anything. We haven't talked about your family, your life. He's talking about a daughter. He's talking about some big white poodle thing, but it's big and white. It's not a little poodle. It's a big white dog. That's very French poodle thing. I don't know what that's coming from or who that's for. Maybe it's some dog in the afterlife. I don't know. It might be somebody's here. I don't know. I just see it, so I'm saying it. I see it and I'm saying it. And Bob talks about a wife. He talks about two, maybe three, two wives? Two wives? I don't understand that. Is there a wife and a sister-in-law that was really close or something? Because it looks like there's two in the afterlife with him. There's two people, two women, and I don't know if they're both ex-wives or one's an ex-wife and one's a sister of the ex-wife, like a sister-in-law that's close or something like that. Something like that's up. That's what I see. Okay, just a minute. Somebody's saying something. Oh, Kathy. Hi, Kathy. Oh, your mom, Doris, loved you, Bob. Bob, Doris loved you. She watched you every day. She got Alzheimer's. Oh, but didn't recognize you, but she recognized the theme music. Isn't that something? The power of music, you guys, vibration. Laura came in late. Yes, I'm talking to Bob Barker, but Prince showed up. Yep. What a fun purple surprise. Yes. Hi, Kathy. Nice to see you, my dear. All right. Wow. Okay. Yeah. We're playing a game show game type thing, and I'm doing cards for people using Bob Barker's energy. So he's talking, and then Prince just happened to show up when Lumi came in. And so, yeah, that was that. Okay. So, let me think about a good question to ask. Okay. We'll do one more. What would be a good question to ask? Oh, you guys will know this, I think, because if you follow my work at all, you'll totally know this about me. This is a personal question about me. But I have upcoming travel, you guys. I'm going to travel this next weekend for a week. I'm going to go to the East Coast and spend some time there. And I'm really feeling I'm feeling feels about that. I will say that. And I haven't traveled since earlier this year, since February on my birthday. And usually, finances are kind of different, with the separation and all that. So usually I travel a lot. Where do I travel to? Be specific. Don't just say the state, but say the place. Okay. Where do I travel to a lot? Yes, Laura, you got it. Oh, Lumi, I see it. Yep. I see it, Lumi. I see it. Yep. Disney in Florida. Yes, Hallie. Laura, you said Disney World first. You were the first one to say Disney World, so we will use that. Oh my gosh. This is fun. Yes, it is. Okay, Laura. So you get to pick a card. We're going to pick a card from one of the decks. You know me too well. Most of you guys do because I share like everything. So which deck would you like? This orange deck is the Kyle Gray deck, Angels and Ancestors, and the purple deck is the one that you probably actually have yourself, which is the Denise Linn deck, the Sacred Traveler deck. Yeah, Disney World, you're absolutely right, Lisa. Yes, you are. Sacred Traveler. Okay, all right. All right, you guys, here comes another Sacred Traveler. This will be our third Sacred Traveler. energy coming through. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, this isn't just for Laura. This is for everyone. Stepping into power, you are strong beyond measure. Okay, everybody. With the equinox that we just had and that full moon that just like rocked things, oh my goodness, within a week, right? Like we had the equinox and then we had the full moon, and now we're like in Minnesota, we're having this weird summer energy. It's like crazy, crazy town here, hot, like 80s, mid 80s, upper 80s the last 4 days. Yeah, it's October. Usually it's like snowing right now. So it's been really crazy, but the energy of strength. This is something stepping into our power. This is something that we need, and we need to presence as we lean in to this fall and then winter season. Okay, for most of us, some of us aren't all on in the same part of the world. I know I have people here from other parts of the world, but if you're like in the US and such, in our Western hemisphere, is that right? We have the energy of the autumn and the fall, and it starts to request us to slow down a bit, and then we start to go inside. So that's kind of what's starting to happen. We're having our days are darker, they're not as light, because the equinox is the equal light of the day, the equal dark and the equal light hours in the day. And then it starts to now get darker earlier, which means more rest. So your body requires more rest. And so this energy of our own strength and stepping into our power and see the light here, it doesn't mean externally expressing yourself like big and bold and going for it and pushing and doing it. It's not always about doing. The stepping into your power is really about your integrity and the strength you have to say no to the external request and to say yes to the internal need for rest, and not to feel like fear of missing out or lots of FOMO or the energetics of situations and circumstances, whether it be personal dynamics in your family life or in your office or your business or the economy or political stressors, whatever that might be for you. It's really not a time to focus your energy outwardly and to try to just be really strong outward. It's a time to gain your strength from the power that's inside you. So you step inside yourself, come into alignment, and then step forward into the world, because then you are strong beyond measure. Then you will expand and rise to meet any occasion or any challenge that you are facing, or anything that you are, a project that you're ready to launch or implement. You will have the energy to do that. Because why? Because you know where the light is. It's inside you. It's not going to be external right now. It's not going to be outside you. It's going to be inside. And so you step into yourself, step into your center and your alignment, and then step out into the world with intention. Okay, so the actions are very intentional. It's not just randomly, oh, I gotta do this, oh, I gotta do that, I gotta do this, I gotta, like a chicken with your head cut off. No. And it's gonna be easy to pull in and fall into that kind of swirly toilet bowl energy externally, because right now there's a lot of that. But we have this beautiful time from that fall autumn equinox into the end of October, into that Samhain holiday, into that October 31st, and then November 1st, All Saints Day energy, to really give ourselves permission to clear stuff. It's that last bit of harvest. You're cleaning up after you've had the big party and the last hurrah for this particular summer season, and you're just really kind of enjoying the fruits of your labors, and you're cleaning up the mess now, kind of a thing. And you're kind of going to step into a little more of a internal beingness and not so much of a doingness. So does that make sense, Laura, for you and for everyone else that is connecting with this particular energy? A lot of light here. The fact that there's a light, and also you're not alone. Look. So this not aloneness, this could be another person on the journey with you, like a spirit guide, or it could actually be a shadow side of you. It could be a part of you that you've abandoned, that you've been ashamed of or felt bad about and tried to kind of just shove it behind you. And the truth is maybe the shadow part just needs to be brought up a little closer into the light, a little closer to you, so it can be integrated into you. So let's take a look at all three of these cards. This is like a full reading, basically. If you're doing your own card deck or your own card readings, that's what you do, you guys. That's how you do it. It's not that complicated. We've got embracing enthusiasm. Look at this inner child, beautiful energy, and that totem of the butterfly. Then we've got another nod to the air element here. The air with the balloons, the hot air balloons, and that energy. Get the big picture view from above, a lot of afterlife, a lot of actual support from your spirit guides and energy from that solar plexus and heart chakra. And then we have this stepping into power. This is a nod to this time of year and to where you're at on your life's journey. You are strong beyond measure. It's not a time to force anything or to fight. It's nothing like that. It's just really an opportunity for you to continue to stay the course, to really focus on what matters to you. And when you take action or implementation of things, that activity, those activities are intentional. They're deliberate. Okay. All right. Bob, do you have anything else to share? He says, I think you did a great job. I think you did an excellent job. Have your pets spayed and neutered. We should do something so they know that I'm actually channeling you. Is there anything you can share? He's showing me a little red sports car. Would that be a little red Corvette from Prince? Is that what you're showing me? I don't know. He shows me a little red sports car. Something that shows up. Is there anything else? Yeah, I see this big poodle, but it's big. It's tall and skinny, and it's like a French poodle with little red bows in her hair, and it looks like a girl, I think. And it's got like the puffy ears and the puffy head and like the puff balls around like the elbows and the knees and stuff like that. So I don't know if he had a poodle like that or if somebody actually watching had one, and there's a nod to you for that. Just a little sweet little loving message. I'm not sure what that's about. But then again, I see two women with him in the afterlife. It either two wives or a wife and like a close sister-in-law, somebody close to the wife. They look identical. That's why I'm saying that. And then there has been a lot of when you talked about Drew Carey being the next person or being the host. He was hosting for a while. I don't know if he's still doing it. And then you talked about, the lung thing. There's a lung thing or something about having trouble breathing, like emphysema, or something about smoking like big cigars. And either it's him that had like an emphysema or a cancer in the lungs, or it was like a dad or a brother. So it's a male figure that's like, looks like him. So it's got to be a namesake of his or something. So it could be his dad or his brother. Okay, so that's the info. So you guys can go ahead and Google it up and research that and prove it right and whatever. So that's the info. But the whole point of this channeling was to be able to come on and have some fun with you guys, because I've been feeling a lot today and I've been really moving through some stuff, but I still wanted to show up for you. I wanted to be here for you. And so I did it. Yes, yay me. I'm so glad. I'm so glad I showed up tonight. Yes. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Lumi. Thank you, Patty. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Tour with Lisa. Thank you, Hallie and other Lisa. Did I say the other Lisa? I don't know. Kathy, thank you for being here tonight, you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you so much. Thank you for being part of, thank you, Deja, for being part of this experience on Above Life channel. Go ahead and watch if you haven't already, check out the Sunday Morning Coffee podcast from Sunday, because I talked about my psychic birthday a little bit that day. So I think it's a good story. Even if you've heard it before, it's a good story. So because I'm traveling next week, I don't know what I'm going to do about channeling. I may or may not channel. I don't know. I might just live stream and show you where I'm at. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next week. I will do a Sunday morning coffee, though. I will do that. I might pre-record it, but I will do that for sure. So I'm traveling Sunday to Sunday. So yeah. And if you are on the East Coast, make message to me, like put something in my comments or something like that. So I know, because that'd be good. It'd be nice to feel some positive vibes there. So, all right, my dears, thank you so much for being here. As always, I hope we've inspired your spirit. What an odd combination, Bob Barker and Prince. Inspired your spirit, filled you with hope, and encouraged you to live your life. It's your life after all, and you get to live it. So just live it. Have a great night. Thanks for being here.